Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Sours, and we are jumping into a best of 3 traditional Forgotten Realms draft on MTG Arena. We're just getting started for the morning, so those of you chatters who are already here, say hello to YouTube. I think given that we've opened with Hand of Vecna, we're going to take Hand of Vecna. This will kind of insist that we do something aggressive adjacent, as it's only giving you the bonus when you're like on your own turn while you're attacking. So I'm not going to take this and then look to build a control deck around it, but I'm certainly going to take it. It limits us in that we'd like to play an aggressive strategy, but it doesn't limit us in that we have to play any particular color. It'll probably make me more likely, not really, I was going to say more likely to play 1-drops, like if this wheels, but I don't think it actually will. It's fine on 2s. So looking at this, like I'm a little more interested in, well, I was going to say I'm a little more interested in something like the Hulking Bugbear than the Priest or than the Death Priest or these. And then I see this Evolving Wilds and I'm like, you know, we could just take that. I do love having good mana. +2 Mace has also impressed me. I mean, no idea what's open here. There's not a solid removal spell. I don't see anything here that's good enough to go into a particular color for. Like, I see a lot of cards that I would play. I think both of these uncommons. I think this, the Mace, maybe the Torch. I'm still working my way through that one. But I don't see a reason to pick a color when there's another just wonderful colorless card here. All right, check for traps is not where I want to be. See, the Javelineer is one of the cards I'm like, I don't know that the hand makes me want to play that. Whereas the Armory Veteran's kind of nice. Although I don't think I should be going nuts for 2-drops initially. I should be able to find those. I'm kind of stuck here between thinking about the Armory Veteran and then maybe trying to go deep on Shestra. And then there's also this Fireball. Like, I think that's a bit too early to take it. But not a lot. Hi, good morning, Mike. Yeah, I think if we're going to go with this hand, I'd really like to be red if I can be. And this would be a pretty wonderful thing to equip the hand to. All right. And that's actually interesting here. I think the take is probably still Minimus, but I could see the argument that if you're going to play a bunch of equipment, putting it on a Guild Thief. I remember John liked that a lot more than I did in the set review. Now, I still need to be aware that there's going to be draws where we don't draw the Hand of Vecna. And if that's the case, we move along with our life. But it's important to remember we're not even necessarily red now. I just have this red common. I do like having a removal spell in my deck, though. We're going to take Minimus Containment here. All right, there's another Evolving Wilds, another Armory Veteran. So we could start kind of taking these because we have them, or I could take this Sepulchre Ghoul and kind of see where this goes. And I think this has the highest upside. I don't feel like I need 2 Evolving Wilds already. Yeah. It's like there's some possibility that Black-Red Sacrifice is open, and that seems like it'd be super fun too. I mean, if it was, this would go right in it, right? If something dies, they lose life. I get to draw a card, so sort of 3 mana draw a card, and then burn them further. Yeah, this set's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take the Price of Loyalty this early. I've been pretty impressed with the Herald of Hadar, too. Let's take the uncommon and see where this takes us. I could sort of see a Black-Red Sack deck going for this. Although, I could also sort of see just playing like blue-white at this point. I would like to win. Yeah, I think I'd like to win. Let's take this Priest of Ancient Lore. I'm probably off of the red at this point. Huh. So nobody really wants to splash anymore. Okay. I wonder why. We could Mardu it. Maybe. I like the Cell Sword. I don't particularly love any of the rest of this. Yeah, the Warlock class doesn't look like it's going to go well here. But I mean, the Unicorn's sort of already a combo with the Priest. The Torch wield and the +2 Mace wield. So it looks like white is actually what's open to us. If we're looking to kill people, I kind of dig the Mace. If we're looking for value, I like the Torch. But I think we're looking to kill people. So let's assume we're white. And we have these other cards. I mean, that's the only one I really feel like is even remotely playable. Okay, maybe we're doing blue things. I don't hate being at this spot at the end of pack 1, although I do like this Armory Veteran. Yeah, I'm still going to leave this open as a possibility. Because, like, with 2 equipments already, like, this getting Hand of Vecna and Menace seems great. Were you a fan of D&D, Mike? Or does the set just line up well for you? All right, so here if we're going to pick... I've played that rare before. Surprisingly, if you can attack with it, it's pretty good. And if you can't, it's pretty terrible. The Drider's not great either. And the Veteran Dungeoneer was just fine. It wasn't blowing my mind. I don't know, man. This plus the Armory Veteran seems like a pretty good start. It's not forcing me into red yet, but it's pretty close. Pass me a Brunor. Yeah, I've kind of got all that going too, and that makes me think this is a wonderful set. It sure is nice to win, isn't it? It really does hit the old D&D flavor. All right, so we've got... There were a lot of indications to me that blue was open previously, so I'm kind of considering this Charmed Sleep. Flyers could be an interesting way to get the Hand of Vecna going too. I think the safe pick here would be the Dwarfhold Champion, so we make sure that we have a 2-drop in white, but I don't think I need to draft incredibly safe. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Charmed Sleep here and see where this takes me. Good morning, John. Plate Armor I think I like quite a bit. That just makes everything big. What's up, Exploded? I also like the Moonblessed Cleric, but I think I want this. Like, I can just play whatever creatures we get at this point, and they're fine. And they can certainly be planar allies. The other option would be to take this Charmed Sleep, or even consider something like the Hobgoblin Captain. But I was super impressed with this. You want to complete a dungeon? It'll do it. So at this point, we kind of just need some bodies, and red looks like it's offering us the best bodies, so that's probably the direction we'll go. But we'll see. I've seen aggro be good. I still want to explore, John. I was saying just a bit before you got here that I think the control decks may be 18 landers, and I want to try those, but opening Hand of Vecna is really not a position to try something like that. I mean, I suppose you could, I just wouldn't. McDonald, thank you for the resub. I'll spam some cats for McDonald. Thank you very much. I don't hate Blue Dragon, but I think it's probably time to buckle in and accept that whether or not I like it, we're red-white. And while this is not a premium removal spell, It's one we can play. Don't know why we can't play her. There we go. Like, there's some consideration for playing a clever conjurer and going a little bit deeper, but I feel like this is good enough. I don't love the Blink Dog by itself. It really needs to hit augmentation. Hey, Guifor.
Enjoying the stream.
Thank you very much. Y'all spam some cats for Guifor. I guess the other option is to take the Arcane Investigator in case blue really opens. I think I still take this and probably consider playing it. I've got 3 ways to augment it, which should be enough. It just feels like the challenge for us now is that red isn't particularly open, so it may be difficult for us to get enough bodies. I'm never going to play that Smith. I might play another one of these. The Hawk we could play. I would be pretty happy playing the Hawk. That's it seems late to me Charmed Sleep, though. It's like, do we want to have threats or do we want to have removal? And I guess at this point, we want to have threats. Weird. That's a Spoils of the Hunt. I could potentially splash that off of these Evolving Wilds if we need to. And I just need some bodies. Let's take some bodies. We need some body to love. We might play you too. I've had some good decks that had a bunch of 3/1s. I've had some good decks that were just looking to survive the early game and play some big stuff. I think if the set gets to be where this is the only thing you can do, it's not going to be that interesting. But if this is a thing you can do, that's fine. I've also played the Torch before too. We don't have a combat trick, but I feel like I can find one later. See? There's one later. We did it, Reddit. Pappy, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Pappy. Thank you very much. Wizard's Spellbook. I remember wanting to play that. Probably not here, and probably not even if we were doing the blue. Because it just kind of doesn't work with anything that we have. That said, we've got a Dragon's Fire. We can certainly play that. That means my interaction is going to be a containment, a fireball, and a Dragon's Fire. That works. I've played the Paladin's Shield before, but I think I'm actively interested in having this in the main deck. I think it's a thing you can do too. I hope it is. I hope it is. I've been very impressed with You Find Some Prisoners. It's like main deck artifact removal with cycling. That seems pretty swell to me. You do have to cast whatever you cycle into on your turn. So this is a card, like a lot of people will say such and such has cycling because it says draw a card. That to me is not the essence of cycling, whereas this one is. It has a narrow effect that you're interested in, or you can pitch it to get some more cards if you need to. That to me feels like cycling. There's another Planner Ally if we want to go in the air. There's also a 2-drop that kind of sort of does something. Like if we really need to turn the +2 mace into plate armor, we could. I don't know that I want to go that nuts over it though. Because I feel like I'm pretty happy with 2 Planner Allies. So let's just take that. Dragon Queen is more fixing than I need. Sellsword is another 4-drop, which I think we'd probably play. It means the Dragonfire could do some damage now and then. I don't really have any treasures running around. But you don't have to lean on me too hard to get me interested in a Borderland Minotaur. I also don't hate this dude. But I kind of just want like 2 more 2-drops now and we'll call it a deck. I was wondering how important Bag of Holding would be in a deck that's looking to run 18 lands. I don't think we're a deck that's looking to run 18 lands. But there ain't really much else here for me. If I need to just play another Cleric, I can. I'm not currently interested in the rapier. And I've already got one of those to splash. I gotta take the bag anyway and decide where this takes us. No, that's kind of exactly what I said I wanted, isn't it? Man, free maces all day. Okay. What's our body count at? It's only at 13. I probably need to take this iron golem then. And we've got another 2 that doesn't really do a whole lot, but is a solid 2-drop. There's also another one of these if we just want to try to push a little bit of damage. Or I could take another 3. I think with the Hand of Vecna, I'd like to overload on 2s. So I think I'm going to jam this for now, and we've got some options in the size board. Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe there's a world where I splash that. I think I'm going to run 1 Evolving Wilds in this deck rather than 2. Normally I'd run 2, but I do feel like I'm wanting to be a little more aggressive here. Huh. That might be better than this Iron Golem. It's going to be more consistent. I don't know that it'll be better. Yeah, we're doing the YouTube draft for this morning. Exploded. And Barbarian class in Delina is pretty cool. My concern is what if I draw the Barbarian class but don't draw her? It's something I really try to drill into people, is that idea of like, don't take a bad card to make your good card good. Leather armor is very good. I think leather armor is terrible. But I could be wrong. It's early in the format. Perhaps there are people who know things that I don't. But I don't think leather armor being good is something I would bet the farm on. This is a little heavy on the 5s, but I don't hate it. It feels weird not playing the Bag of Holding. I've heard people calling Plate Armor a Mythic Uncommon. John and I referred to it as a premium 6-drop. And I think that it is. I also think the best card we have is the Hand of Vecna, and I'd like to be able to get some value off of that. I'm wondering how often we're going to use Ambushed on the road, and if it might just be better as a Bag of Holding. Because like I could also run 16 lands, but I do have like 5/5 drops. I've never been sad to see my opponent play a bag. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at too. You've never been sad to see your opponent? Okay, you're saying the other thing. I don't understand what you're saying. You've never been sad, so you're happy when they play a bag? Okay. Bag has felt too slow. I've been relatively happy with it. But let's try this out. Let's see when we draw Ambushed. Am I like, man, I wish this was a Bag of Holding? Yeah, we may be, John. And I'd mentioned too before, I think that there's my current theory, and it's early, there's a lot of theories, there's a lot of people that know different things. We'll get there. Is that there's 18 land decks that are interested in Bag of Holding, and maybe even 16 land decks that aren't. And I feel like I'm right on that edge. But let's take this out for a spin and see if we got anything here. Roll for initiative. I mean, I guess it kind of doesn't matter here, but I can't keep that. We can keep this, and it has the Wombo combo. Let's do that. I mean, this is what we're doing. I mean, they could kill the Blink Dog. That's why I kept the 4-drop, right? Like, I'd really rather they didn't, but they could. This is also particularly good when you mulligan. Rogue class, huh? Okay. I see what you did there. Okay, fine. I'm wondering about trading that. Feign Death, they don't need a combat trick for this to be a good attack for them. It's already a good attack for them. This is awkward. Because they're going to hit me back for 4 and take -2/-2 off of my attack. So if I play this and pay 4 life, I can hit them for functionally 6. Yeah, I don't know that this is good enough here, and I can't really use the Hand of Vecna defensively. But that's not what the card's meant for. Equip for 2 mana. We could do that, but then we can't leave up the combat trick. Which I think I might like to. There's various -1 effects. What's up, Orcish? That means we're hitting them for 6, which is 4. So we're just keeping the damage even at that point while they're drawing cards. I think you're actually right, though. Okay, it's 8. So it could have been 10. What's up, Reed Snake? I'm feeling better. I'm still not feeling great. But we're better. So do you wish this was a bag of holding now? Are you like, nah, we're good? I mean, I can hit for 12. That's not quite good enough. But we're going to see what we can do. They can't kill it now. You put a cup on it. And a Vecna, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe we can just win here. See why I rated Hand of Vecna highly in the set review. And you could also see how important Ambushed on the Road was there. It's probably fine versus Charmed Sleep, but I feel like if we need like 2-drop selection, the Dawnbringer Cleric looks like a pretty good one, given that we know they've at least got Charmed Sleep, and they've got a Rogue class as well, and a Fly. Like, there's just tons of ways we could interact with that. No, I'm not intending to show the name, but I hadn't changed the scene since we did the sweatsuit. Good catch, Techno. So no, what do I not want on the draw? Probably the Sellsword. Although presumably I could also just cut one of these Devoted Paladins. It's not really doing much. Side in big. I don't know. After I've seen the normally I actually would there, but given that we saw Charmed Sleep, I think I'd actually like to have Ambushed. Sometimes you need them to be ambushed. Good morning, Tommy. That ain't pretty, but we can start with it. I don't think I have any double reds, right? Let's peek real quick. I'm pretty sure I don't, though. It's just a question of, yeah, we've got the Fireball, which is incredibly late, and I don't have it in my hand right now. I think I'm more likely to, like, go red spell, hold up, ambushed, or something. What's up, Wombat? I think I'm supposed to just kill that. Which feels a little weird. But I've still got Minimus Containment for the next thing, and this lets me play out my creature and leave up a combat trick to potentially protect it. Those are good things to consider. I'm kind of stuck on wanting to work in the stream for a little bit before we work on it. But I haven't seen an update for CBL, which feels kind of weird. I guess I can try relaunching it and see if that does anything. Okay. Yeah, it may be time to do that. The ambush came in pretty handy here. Didn't do a lot, but it's something. So this is destroy an artifact, which isn't really what I need right now. And I kind of don't want to dig out a card from their deck. So I think we just replay Home Slice. Like, we could still have this up at instant speed if they do have an artifact. As I understood it, Untapped did show cards in play, but if it doesn't, I don't really have any use for it. But we'll explore that later. Right now, we're going to work on the game. Okay, and that's again a thing that we may talk about in the future. I don't see a reason not to attack with this. I think they're going to block and bounce. which I'd love it if they did. And if they just want to trade damage with me, I'm good with that too. Esper, you say? Okay. Feeling particularly scared of either of these. They should want to trade something off so they can get something back, and I'm curious what they're holding up when they could have just leveled this. There's a Gideon's Reproach type effect. So it's possible that we just want to attack with the planar ally and respect that they could have something and maybe to block that Displacer Beast. I don't think they have a counterspell. I suppose it's possible, but I think they'd have countered the planar ally last turn. Either that or they thought they could level the cleric class at instant speed. But like that's kind of fine. I'm used to aggressive decks wanting to do this, but I'm not really the beatdown right now, so we're going to go a little more of a value line. Yeah, Champion's fine. And I think I want to cast Delinea here. What is it, Delina? Hey there, Delina. Yeah, and we can try the Prisoners next turn if we don't find something to blow up this turn. Okay, it was just their little Scion buddy. I'm glad we left back something to block, because we're not really racing that. Okay, interesting.
You can't even comprehend without duty. Leave me be. I'm reading.
Also interesting. Guess they're looking to get back the Displacer Beast. This just seems like an easy answer for that, but let's see what they're doing first. That's not fair. I should just take this guy out. This Goblin token's pretty good right here. And she can copy anything, right? So I can copy this, complete my dungeon. That's pretty neat. But let's see if they've got anything better first. Do I want Thieves' Tools? That seems like it's okay here. So how does it work? Which one is happening first? This one's happening first. God, I can never freaking remember how this works. Okay. The bottom one happens last. Okay, and that doesn't count as it attacking because it comes into play attacking. It's kind of weird. There's a first, last. Yeah, it's not going to trigger no matter how I stack it because it doesn't get the it attacked trigger. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, let's do our Stream Raiders battle, and then we can check out another round. Boop. Which is interesting. You'd think it would say when X is declared as an attacker, but I guess it's just shorthand for that. Go figure. At a certain point, I feel like each card is just going to have a letter and a number in it, and then there's an encyclopedia set that you get where you can look up to see what they actually do. Dixieland with the kills, Lara Mathis with the assists, rewards for Orcish and Fasty Dave. Welcome back, YouTubers. We took a short break to install a new extension that would allow everyone to see the cards. That's important for a new set. Mike, thanks for the resub, dude.
3 years.
3 years, that's crazy, man. Thank you very much. Have Hawk will travel. Yeah, I don't know how this one works, but I assume that you guys can hover over cards and see what they do now, which should be pretty handy. Great success. Yeah, if draft works, that's good news. I mean, if I play this in Swing Team, they kind of have to block her and take 7-8. And then next turn I can just slap this down and force more damage. I think we're supposed to be the aggro deck here. Because I feel like I should be able to find a couple different ways to kill him from here. This is not ideal, but we can make it work. Because they're going to have to do something like that. Signals are not yet getting better, no. Everybody's confused. None of us know what's happening. Cats and dogs living together. I have not played any sealed yet. To be fair, I think I was 1 out of 3, which makes me feel bad about yourself. Don't feel bad about yourself. Don't tie up your self-worth in any video game. That is certainly not worth doing. If we go Temple of Annihilation, they're at 1. But how bad off am I? I mean, pretty bad off. We probably need to be looking at doing some blocking here. Which I wouldn't say I'm excited about, but here we are. That's a bold move, Cotton. Combat trick that gives trample would make them attack here. I'm not quite sure what they have. I don't think that I'm beating it, but I'm also just kind of curious because I can't think of what gets me here. I guess choose your weapon, but I don't know if people are main decking that. I think I would be, but I mean the good news is I think that was going to kill me one way or the other. At least they didn't get an owl bear token. Am I actually not quite dead? I think I'm pretty close to dead. Volo's not a bad card, eh? Because I don't know how we're forcing through the last few bits of damage. I guess if we stall the game long enough and I draw that fireball and high roll, I could kill them with it. But we have some incentive to try to just survive another turn if we can. The most I can really soak, though, is not enough damage to live. So, sadly, that one's over. Yeah, I had Volo in the sweatsuit, but I got some value off of it. We made the 2 basilisks, but... Do you have any sense of the speed of the format? Normally I would by now, but I got really sick on Friday and I'm still not quite recovered. So I haven't got quite as much as I want. It seems like slow decks are fine and fast decks are fine. You can do both. Hunter's Mark's real good. I'm wondering if we need Volo dead enough to want Spoils of the Hunt, because I've really only got 2 ways to interact with it. I probably don't on the play, but we might need to consider that on the draw. But also be aware that Sealed is usually slower and more powerful than Draft. So when people talk about the speed of a format, unless they specifically tell you Sealed, they're not communicating anything that would be useful for Sealed. They can be quite different. Amonkhet, I think, was the biggest outlier for that. But like, Amonkhet Draft was very aggro-centric, whereas Amonkhet Sealed was the exact opposite. It also depends on where you play, because like Wombat is saying it's fast compared to Strix, but best of one, like, that was fast, yo. Yeah, the Dawnbringer Cleric's not doing anything except being a body here. I think I might want this over the Dawnbringer Cleric. Sealed is slower, because generally it's harder to build up synergies, and aggro is a synergy, and it's also more powerful. You're going to see 6 rares instead of 3. It's a rough start. This is really testing my mulligan plans. I think I'm still supposed to keep this, but it's scary. It kind of needs a land to get going, and then we have a plan. Yeah, that was the land we would want. I was kind of hoping we could get this down and equip it in the same turn, but I reckon it'll be all right. I'd like to leave the combat trick up, but I don't think I can afford to be mana inefficient here. I mean, these days, really, all I play is best of 3 draft, so I don't have a lot of opinion on sealed or best of 1 draft or really bloody much else. See these equipments. I'm probably bouncing the veteran. We'll see. That's a good thing. Show him how to play Magic and let him have fun. That would be my goal. I don't see why I wouldn't just play this. It enables attacks and gives me another body. Same thing here. I have not seen Xanathar in action yet. Man, that thing is real good. It's real good. Them having to use this defensively is good news for us, though. It does let me kill an owl bear with a dragon's fire, which seems like solid value to me. I want to see if they've got anything better than this. But I guess I don't need to when I can just dump my hand. Well, green's removal does depend on having creatures in play. Which is not a big ask. Okay. Want to get back a paladin? That seems pretty good. Is this white to equip? It's not. I really don't want to be playing out these lands because if we top deck the Hand of Vecna, it just doesn't look great, but here we are. This doesn't let me kill both of them. So I think we wait and make the attack next turn. Because with the Paladin and equipping the Sellsword, I've got some better attacks. Okay, we can hold that, which I like. I've got enough to, like, play everything out. And I guess this probably necessitates a trade. Like, I imagine we're getting the Owlbear for it. And I suppose the Volo isn't the worst, because they don't really have enough to do anything terrifying with it yet. I'm a little concerned, though. They have some larger cards. What did they give it? It'd be nice to be able to tell. If I could make it a 5/5. It still doesn't quite trade with everything, does it? Because I'd really need more power. Yeah, we may just be a bit flooded out here. They just got too many creatures. And I've got not enough creatures. Like the 7/7 Menace isn't even really that scary. Yeah, I suppose when they've drawn 12 more cards than me, it's not difficult for them to have a larger board. Although they haven't drawn 12 more cards, to be fair. They've drawn 9 more cards. Man, this here Blink Dog was supposed to do some work for me. But as it stands, I'm just dead in the air. Because this was going to be impressive when we put all these things on it. So I guess I'm supposed to make them scared that I have the Gideon's Reproach and then maybe they don't attack, but spoiler alert. They're going to attack. I believe they found the path. And I might should have trusted that this was supposed to be a 16 lander. I still have a feeling that this format is either 16 or 18 lands and it's deck dependent, not format dependent. But they just had a lot of card advantage there. That was difficult to grind through. All right, let's do our Stream Raiders battle and see if we can get this one to a 2-1. Yeah, I'm thinking there's 16 landers and 18 landers, and both can exist in this format. Which is interesting to me. Dave with the kills, Wombat with the assists, rewards for Thangarth and Fasty Dave. So my plan is we're going to go get this green chest and then go get this blue one. Because it looks like I can get double chests on this map. Which is interesting to me. If I'm here, I just shoot all the bad guys. Cool. Let's do that. All right, this is exciting. We got to win the next one to keep ourselves in business. Yeah, that's another option. I could have cut one of the 5s, brought in another couple of 2s, and called it a 16 land deck. I didn't really have enough 2s to do that, though, so... Man, it's the type of hand that scares me. Well, there's not too many times to draft format, Mike. No need to be embarrassed here. Hello, my name is Travis, and I'm a draftaholic. I guess I'm either drawing a 2-drop or a land to cast my 3s. Right now, Mike is the most experienced person with this format. All right, I guess this is the direction we're going. Wasn't planning on bolting the bird, but that's the way the dookie crumbled. Menamoose. I haven't looked at mine yet. I would do that on the 17 lands tracker, I reckon. I guess that could tell me exactly how many I've played and what we've done. The set AFR. I have an 81% win rate with 9 total events, so that means basically nothing. I haven't played enough to really get any sort of read on this. I do feel like this particular hand is struggling with something. Yeah, if we had a bag of holding, we'd be able to get through this. There was a shift somewhere in Magic for Limited that white is no longer a controlling color and is an aggro color. And I don't know that I care for that. Yeah, you get to figure out stuff, which I dig. Get some free wins, which I dig. We're so far behind, I figure trading card for card with my opponent's the only thing we can do here. Not really. That is the only way you can play around rally maneuvers, just block one thing, but it's not like we had an opportunity to really block more, you know? So if I was going to win this game, what would that start to look like? Because I can kill their cleric class and just be stuck taking 3 damage a turn. I guess it's 5. It's kind of the only thing that does anything right now. I guess if they activate it... Yeah, I'm worried about this. I think this is the right call. That ain't helping. Ooh, lordy. I guess no color was really aggressive and limited. There were just cards. I think you're up to something there too, Sai. My throat still hurts pretty bad, and I don't feel great right now. Let's see if we can win this game. That would make me feel great. I mean, we're not winning this one. I mean, the match. We're dead on board right now. So we've got mono white aggro. That kind of makes my equipment worse if I can't get out ahead of them. Also, we have a 100% win rate on the Hand of Vecna. We've seen a ton of enchantments from them, so I kind of want the other Dawnbringer Cleric. Kind of don't want the combat trick. They probably have an equipment in there somewhere. Yeah, there's not a lot of flexibility in what we're doing here. Well, we know they have a minimus containment, but I can't bounce the creature because it's not a creature anymore, so this doesn't actually get rid of it unless you target it when they do it, and I don't really want to be bouncing my own stuff. Their deck didn't look that aggressive. They led with turn 1 Hawk. They're playing a Devoted Paladin. Like, they have to... If white's an aggressive color now, side, they can't be mono white and not be aggressive, right? Like, it's also possible that my supposition is off. All right, show me the way. Our mana's good. Oh, that's okay, Sai. I still can't get over how this looks like one dragon's mooning another if you can't see the head. Like, as soon as you play enough cards to cover that head up, it kind of looks like this is a dragon's butt and it's mooning the other one. Or that they're going to, I don't know, do things to each other. You know what I mean? Weird positioning, that's all I'm saying. Jay Marty, thank you for the gift sub. Hi, welcome to the Fat Cat Club. They were green-white the whole time and we never knew? I'm so confused. I mean, even dragons have a moment of raving now and then, right? They were green-white. Can you believe that? Well, isn't that awkward? I think the first deck I drafted was green-white. It certainly wasn't bad. So worst case scenario, I can play out the plate armor and then equip it and play the Hawk. Best case scenario, we play the Hand of Vagna, pay the life, attack for 6, and then play the Hawk. Oh yeah, 8. That's like 2 more than 6. The challenge is it's not actually going to connect for any damage, but it does represent more damage in future turns. I meant to play the Hawk. I thought I got to do something afterwards. Oopsie. I guess it's not too embarrassing. I get to attack for more next turn. What's up, Martin? I mean, Martin's always hype and I'm always chill. To be fair. It's a blink dog, it blinked. Yeah, I think I want to make 2 plays here. Because they're going to start tapping, which reduces the effectiveness of my armor. But I'm getting over an autoimmune outbreak, Marton, which has led me to be somewhat less hyped than you might anticipate. Mine's better. I've gotten people twice with the phasing on the Blink Dog, but I don't anticipate that will continue happening. Trade for both of them. It's a form of protection if you're reactive with it, essentially. You have to have the mana up. Yeah, essentially that. They have to sorcery speed their removal. Functionally. So I'm glad we have the artifact removal. I'm wondering if I want a second copy of Prisoners, and I think frankly that I do. By a lot. Because I'm not beating a turn 3 Hand of Vecna from them unless I have a way to kill it. Interestingly, it won't blink off something like... Well, it can't blink off Minimus Protection or Minimus Containment. And it could sort of... Like, does it... Huh. Does it... It would still come back tapped, wouldn't it? If they Charmed Sleep it. Sorry, I didn't quite finish my entire thought there. Yeah, because it never leaves, so it's just staying tapped. Yeah, again, sorry, I didn't finish my entire thought there. This is gutsy on my part. But I'm a gutsy man. I'm gambling that they kept a Lightlander too. And they did not. I got 2/2 drops that kill this. It'd be really cool to draw one. That isn't one. But do we fire this off just to hit a land drop? I don't want to. But I might need to. If they can activate that at 5, I'm going to be in serious trouble. I don't actually know how I would stop it. A start is probably getting to double spell. Yeah, sounds like that could work, Mish. I think I got one more turn to draw enchantment removal, or this is just going to kill me. Okay, this could help me find the enchantment removal. There's still something going on here. I imagine they just kill it, but that's okay. Well, the fireball won't kill it if they get it to like 6 power. But it's conceivable we could get out of this. I expect they're just going to rabbit bite the planar ally, though. No? Okay. So presumably we're still going to the cave entrance with the idea of getting treasure tokens, which I like. They might have the Gideon's Herpaderp variant here, which would make me sad, but we'll live. Okay, so we're only getting to go once. Because there's not that much delving here, but I guess I would still want the scry. Because at this point we'd take a mountain. We do not want a plains, though. That could let me double spell, but that's not really what I need. Okay, feeling a little more safe. And I feel like we probably have a couple of attacks now. So which one's getting which? I can't actually tell. I guess I let it resolve first because this is 5 damage. And then we can decide. So this has first strikes. They're going to first strike. They're going to basically 2-for-1 me. Do I care? Well, the thing is, as soon as they hit another land, I ain't sure how I'm dealing with the 5/5. Like, this sucks, but I can just play 2 more creatures. Yeah, I think they just got me. It grows twice? It grows once, right? Yeah, once there and then once here. But this I can block. Now, if they play land and then activate it, that gets a little worse for me. So now I think I am ending up popping the unicorn, which is really awkward. Let's see if maybe they activate it first. They could still activate it on 5, I guess. Well, I think we knew they had rally maneuver, and I attacked a little too quickly there. I think part of how it's lost is playing when you're sick. Because, like, as soon as I made that attack, I was like, I should have just attacked with the Minotaur. I didn't need to throw the 2/1 away. So I think blaming this on Mana Flood or Screw is not entirely fair. Because I could have played around that and didn't. It's like, imagine if we kill this and still have a creature left over. We could have done that, and I just elected not to. So lesson learned, don't blame on Mana Screw what you could have played around. It's hard to concentrate with Pain. Particularly when it's just Pain that's just been sitting here. Yeah, I mean, we can do that for a little while, and we will. It's just, that doesn't strike me as a long-term winning proposition. Grab your leg. I mean, that's kind of a start, ain't it? I still need enough to equip him. And now it's getting awkward because I kind of want to hold land so the hand will do something when we draw it. But block and blink is currently our plan. The challenge is they're just going to tap it. It sucks to feel bad when there's a new set out. Like a lot. Like, this is the best time to be doing Magic content creation Wah. Well, maybe that just means I won't get... let's be an optimist. Maybe it means I won't get tired of the set as fast. I still have to chump block here. But yeah, again, this one's not on Mana Screw or Flood. This one's on me. Thank you, Mike. I've got a doctor's appointment in August that will hopefully get to the bottom of some of this mess. Aha, joke's on you. It's not tapped. It's just not here. But the awkward part is the cards we sideboarded in to deal with this don't actually deal with it now, and the land doesn't help either. All right, I want to do another draft, and I want to think about 18 lands, mana sinks. Because this deck was really good when we drew turn 3 Hand of Vecna, and kind of wasn't doing anything short of that. And again, I could have played around the Rallying Maneuver. People will begin to get better about playing around Rallying Maneuver as the format goes along. But like looking at this, it just doesn't look very good. It doesn't look like a deck I'm super interested in. The Plate Armor was about what I thought it would be, a really good 6-ish drop. And it was fun to put it on the Blink Dog. And I think we got about as many people with the Blink Dog as I got with the Rallying Maneuver. No, I'm not as hyped on it either, but I think a lot of people who are very hyped on it are probably playing a lot of Best of One. Either way, so ends our YouTube draft. YouTubers, thank you for tuning in. Do consider subscribing to the channel, and come check out the stream sometime. You can watch me get 1-2s live with everybody else. That's at twitch.tv/Semulin.